in your mind, money talks. It sounds like it's the only thing that's missing, right? So you're not concerned that there isn't a hotbed of previous people that have done the things that you're trying to do. That doesn't bother you in any
we
kind
we
of way,
we
that
we,
the
we,
advice that they're
we build
getting.
critical mass where we go. I mean, I don't think that I think Hampton Roads is an amazing place. I mean, honestly, I mean, you all are here. You're not from here, right? And so I think that like it's got a sticking factor, stickiness factor to it once you're here. If you given, if, I think like Tulsa Remote. Have you guys heard about that program?
Is is that where they're
I've
paying
not.
people? Yeah,
So
yeah,
they're paying people 10 grand to move to Tulsa for a
yeah,
year, right?
yeah.
And 10 grand we know is not even covering most people's moving
I
costs,
saw one
right?
today for a place in West Virginia for 12 grand.
There you go.
Yeah,
And
it's
I mean, I really think Hampton Roads should do this. Seriously, I think it's a really smart idea. But they have a big $1 billion family, the Kaiser family, behind that, and so it's a long-term, thoughtful concept, that says, "Hey, we have to start somewhere," right? Um, and 10 grand, for 10,000 people sounds like a lot of money, but for these types of people, it's not. And out of those 10,000 people, I don't know, a few thousand stay. And out of the few thousand, they're all like super turned on, like, digital workers, right? People that would be willing to do this stuff. And I think that that's where,
there's plenty of money
um,
wasted in other places too. So it's not in the region where that money is there, whether it's from a government, which obviously I think we're trying to stay
totally,
away from, but
totally, totally.
but
Um,
there's plenty of money that's wasted in different ways. Yeah. So
yeah, I always laugh whenever, whenever I drive somewhere and I see billboards, I go, if I could only just have the money they spent on billboards. Like, like
Right.
it's so much money, right? But anyways, the reason I bring that up is I think that you can build this ecosystem has enough vibrancy and like Tinder, to go. Like we may need a spark, that to really like light this on fire. But there's stuff going on, and there's
What would
also
be that
more.
spark? Would it be keeping businesses here that if they have a successful Series A that they stay here?
No, you
And
can't do
then
that. That's the last thing you want to do. Like you do
what?
not want to.
So what do
Yeah.
we
So
need to create that spark?
the stuff we're talking about. You need a couple. Starting with one is fine. You need a vertical, and you need to start building a brand, and you need to have money. And you need to have this basic support. So this is, I didn't invent this, right? Techstars had it. Like everyone, like there's like a model that makes sense, right? This is not like rocket science, but it takes someone to get behind it, which, I've been trying to push as best I can to try to help create something like this. And it's got to be material, right? Like if you're gonna I think right now, 757 Lighthouse, they get like 20 or 25 non-dilutive or whatever it is. I mean, like the starting of anything I've ever heard is usually like 50, 80, 100, right? Like that's like the beginning. So like 20 is nothing, right? Like 20 doesn't get you anywhere. And so the dollars have to go up dramatically. We've gone from starting at $100,000. Now some of our programs start at $500,000 for the first check, and we're just realizing that the needs are changing. And you can also imagine on the other side that if you want to bring someone here to a place where there's not lots of risk capital and we can't prove, right, that we can like roadshow them away around and like smash their raising targets within the southern part of the state, then you have to give them more runway. So you have to have more continuity in the first version. You have to have more money available day one. Doesn't
so
mean
when
to
you
give it
say
all to them up front.
757, you're saying 757 accelerate the 12-week
Yeah, they give
program in
like
this case.
20. They give like
Yeah.
20K,
So
and I
so
think
do you think
Lighthouse
that
is similar.
they have zero skin in the game basically, right? So they have, it's government dollars, right? Half the money is from the government and half is from the wealthiest schools and businesses in the area. So there's no skin in the game. I mean, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. The person markets that they're helping the startup community, and there's no single individual attached to something like that. I mean, fundamentally, it sounds like you're saying that's setting up for failure for not only the ecosystem but also the businesses, because there isn't that next step on it, or there isn't an individual that's willing to go to bat for those things in there. I mean, am
I
I?
don't know. I don't think that's what I'm saying. Like, first off, the people that work at these groups, like them at Lighthouse, like they work their ass off, right? Like their heart is definitely in the right place, and I think that they're working within the structure they have. And we've had lots of conversations, so this isn't like they wouldn't hear this and think it's new. I've said this to everyone: is there there has to be the next thing, the and, right? Like maybe their check size doesn't change. That's fine. 20K to like do some relocation and some basic stuff that's non-dilutive. I'll take that. That sounds great, but you need more, right? And so I think having these sidecar or additional for-profit structures, right, that are verticalized. I think it has to be vertical. I will never stop saying that. It has to be vertical. And
And that means being
more.
industry focused is what you mean
That's
by
right.
that? Yeah.
That's right. Exactly. So around the 4 themes, let's say we talked about, and there may be.
So if you got 10 companies in the cohort, they're all around the same thing.
All
yeah,
it has to be.
And I'm not bashing the people that are associated with these places at all. I'm just saying it sounded like you said there needs to be an individual that goes to bat for these things. If the only thing in town is really this thing, and then an angel group, there needs to be someone individually that's writing a check for that, or something like where.
No, I meant that. So it's not about focusing and supporting those startups, right? They work their butt off and go to bat all the time, doing everything they possibly can. What I was referencing is when you're focusing on a vertical, like if you're going to go, or any of these, right? If you don't like raising $100 million or 25, whatever it is, there's got to be a throat to choke, right? Like if you're going to go take money, they're going to bet on you. They're not betting on what already exists, right? We're talking about a vision that literally is something new, right? It does not exist. So if I'm going to go raise $100 million, these investors can be like, cool, like who's on my shit list when you don't return this capital? It's Bay, right? Got it. It's not, like you said, 757 or a government, right? It's got to be an individual. And so I'm partially an instigator because I think that it needs to happen. I'm also very, also personally interested to try to figure out how to do it. Like I think there's something here that, I would love to, get Brinc involved in. And I've been talking to everyone about it. So I think there's something really interesting here. I just don't know how to, and I'll say it again in case anyone has any ideas, right? How to attract the external capital to say Hampton Roads is one of those emerging, areas, just like Austin was, or Baltimore, or whatever you want to call these other cities that weren't the top right away, or Denver. Like it's possible, and we're going to focus on our strengths. We're going to build a big damn magnet. We are going to give them everything they need to be successful in terms of pilot opportunities, data sets, customers, all the grants known to man, all the service providers, all the stuff they need to relocate, like to be capital efficient, like all the stuff, right? And we're going to do it in the places we're strong on, which are these 3 to 4 things, and give me $25 million, right? Like I think that this isn't like a novel pitch, right? Like this is how it's been working kind of since Y Combinator. I just think we've been building version 1, like I said, and people have done a really good job, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and lessons learned and mistakes, like always. And now it's just more of like, cool, so what's next, right? Like how do we evolve to be the next version?
That's the real scale issue, is what you.
Yeah, it's part of it. Yep.
I want to circle back
within our entrepreneurial community for years. And the most common question I get is, Tim, I want to get involved, but I don't know what events I should attend. Well, StartWheel eliminates that pain point because we consolidate all the events you should attend into a single calendar. Now you'll be in the know and see where to spend your time. Gone is the need to search multiple websites and calendars. Just head to startwheel.org and see for yourself. That's startwheel.org.